give these to everyone?
Yes, I
Okay, because I already submitted mine, so I just was like.
yes. Did everybody look at the meeting minutes from last month?
That's
or
what I'm
from
doing right
February?
now.
Does anybody need to look at them?
I'd like to.
Excuse me, jeez Louise. Well, look, where are they? Maybe I don't have them. I might have left them on my desk. Let me go there. Let's see. Too much stuff. Nope, I'll go there. Oh, actually, I put them on Amy's. I think
What are you
she's
looking
looking- The meeting minutes, are you
Oh,
looking at them
yes,
right now?
yes, I'll pass them right to you.
Okay, sorry about that, Steve. I forgot I put them there for you.
Oops, sorry.
Why did my coffee? I'm gonna grab some water before we start.
There's some in my fridge there.
Okay.
One,
Still haven't got ready to try that coconut water in there.
No,
The Chinese.
my son's been
Can't do
on
it.
coconut water, oh.
Is that
Coconut water.
supposed to be good for you?
I'm supposed to have electrolytes.
Oh, well, there's 2 cans. You like them?
He's
They
13.
sent- They sent them to me about what in the world? I've never had
It's
it.
supposed to be better for you than like a Gatorade or, you
Well,
know,
that's a good thing, right? Okay, artificial
more
colors.
natural.
Yeah,
He's out there doing track and stuff.
well, that's good.
Pedialyte,
Yeah, that too.
the best for you. Whenever you're doing your sports and stuff,
Yeah.
knock a Pedialyte back.
Mm-hmm. So your roll wraps and everything,
Just staying busy,
that's good.
learning German.
For fun, that's what we do in retirement.
Are you seriously?
That's what we do in retirement.
You're learning German? Is
I'd
that
like
what
to
you
learn
said?
Spanish, but man, it is.
Good for you,
Doesn't work.
that's great.
Yeah, that is good. Is your wife too?
No, she is German.
Oh, so you can yell at her.
That's it, she's getting men yell at you, you can understand it.
Does she speak it?
No,
Yes, you can yell
no,
at
she's
her.
originally
Yeah.
German,
Oh.
so I can box pretty good too.
How was your spring break? You all the whole fam, right? and
Yep.
stuff?
Everybody
Talking
got
about
down there.
last time.
Everybody
Nice.
got down there.
That's fun.
Oh, 601.
Is your phone so 601?
Yeah.
Oh, my watch is slow.
So does my phone. Okay. At 6:01, I will call the meeting to order. I would like everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Stearns?
Here.
Rabson?
Here.
Leclerc? Here. Clemens? Here. Sears?
Here.
Okay. With that, we will move on to the approval of the agenda. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor, say aye. Do we have any guests here not regarding the public hearing that would like to introduce themselves? Because we'll have another part for public hearing that you can introduce yourself. Anybody want to introduce themselves? Okay, we will move on. Again, we have public comment not regarding the hearing, right? It's only, yeah.
Yep.
So, public comment not regarding the variance. Going once, going twice. Okay. Next up, we had the minutes minutes floating around up here. If they looked good to you, we could make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 2026 meeting. So moved.
I'll second.
Second? Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We were presented, I think everybody has one at their seat, according to Corinne, with correspondence, which was a letter from Michelle Osip, the clerk here in Oregon Township. It is a letter letting us know that if we want to continue to serve on the ZBA, that we need to fill out our application. So if anybody in the audience would like to see that, I'd be happy to share it with you.
Green does with, like mine goes to September 27th with an A. What does that mean?
Appointed in
Okay.
August.
So
regular board meeting.
If I didn't do it, I would go till 27th.
I believe so, yes, let me look here. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Right, so you wouldn't need to apply till next year. So the only people who are up this year are me and Gary, correct? And do we have any old business? With that, we will move on to new business, which is election of officers. At the last February 17th meeting, we did decide to, I don't want to use the wrong terminology, table or move it to the next meeting. I don't know if we want to go ahead and do that again as a board because we are missing Gary. We're only missing Gary. Is Munson?
Yeah, he resigned.
Oh, Munson resigned. Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay, so Munson resigned, so we're only missing Gary, who is our current chair. Do we want to go ahead and move an election of officers without Gary here, or do we want to wait till the next meeting?
Wait till the next meeting.
Do you want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we will at 6:06 open the public hearing for the variance request from Rudy DeGranchamp.
Good job.
Did I say your
Yep.
name right? Okay, awesome. With that said, Mr. DeGranchamp, you can state your case.
All right, bought the house about a year ago. When I looked at the house, it already has a structure in the backyard, so me not thinking about it, didn't bother calling to see if I could build one because there was something already there. Contacted the builder, and I said, I'd like to put this there, and he's like, I think we gotta get a variance because of this. So then I started looking into it, and here we are. So my bad for not looking into it first, because just thought it was already there, I assumed, which you never should do. I'm a builder, I should have known that.
Right. So to be clear, you have a pole barn there right now?
There was a structure there of a Quonset hut. It is still there, the frame of it is.
What?
A Quonset hut.
Okay, what is that?
It's like a half round, so this is.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
35 by 40 already.
Okay,
So that's this one, and then he's gonna tear this one down, so we'll just try.
okay,
There's a pole barn there now that's current. That is 32 by 55.
okay.
That's his.
Yep.
And this is the new one.
The new one, where the new one's going, that's where the Quonset hut's at right now. I have pictures if you want to see.
Please, I can see it.
Yes, please. I was gonna say, I did go to your house today if you thought there was a weirdo at the end of your driveway.
I'm hardly
but
ever home anyway.
I
so.
didn't pull all the way up there because you
You
sit
could've.
so far back that I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't wanna be super invasive. So right now you have a boiler shed.
That's a boiler, yes.
Okay, and we're removing that. We have an existing garage.
But you can zoom in, there's a Quonset hut that's actually a frame.
We have an
Okay,
this is
all right.
existing.
That's how I just.
Okay, so we have an
Yep.
existing garage
Okay.
not attached,
That's
so
where
it
it
counts
was
as an
going.
outbuilding.
Correct.
And then he wants to
So that's
tear
what's
that
going on for
down
the
and get a
pole barn
new
when I
pole
go.
barn, and the problem
Keep
is
zooming
square
back out,
footage.
it's all right.
Because the
This-
garage
This
is
is pulling up the
counted.
driveway, you go all the way out.
400
This is from the
square
road.
feet.
You can't see nothing back.
2,400 square
And you
feet,
go up
so
there, we
it'd
got
be
the fence
1,000
there,
square
that.
foot bigger.
How far back is your lot line past that Quonset hut?
Does this show lot line for them?
Yeah,
It's
so
past lot line.
Yeah,
the new pole barn's 40 foot off the lot line.
Do Do you guys want to
This
see
fence
this?
is probably
Oh,
500, 120 some foot off the lot line. So the house itself is, I got that written down there, 360 off the lot, off the front.
Yeah.
And you don't need a variance from the, you're not asking for a variance. to
No,
put
there's no
closer to your
variance.
lot line,
Nope.
it's just the square footage.
Correct.
And your garage counts as that because it's not attached.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, I got pictures showing all that stuff, and I even stood in the middle of it and took a picture of each one of my neighbors. You can't see my neighbors. All the trees hide everything.
Was a letter sent out according to the,
Yes.
okay, did you get any replies back?
I'm here.
I got one reply.
I'm a neighbor, I can
Yep,
see
which
your-
one are you? Which one
I'm
are
on
you?
Royal Drive,
That's the, next to me.
that's to the east of you.
Yes, like, I'm the corner lot, so you're Royal, which is the dirt road, right?
You're not a corner lot.
Yeah, yeah. I own all the way to the edge. From Royal and off of Mount Morris on the corner lot. I own all that, 5 acres.
Okay, so with that said, so you're here to talk about the variance?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, if you would like to take the floor and tell us how you feel?
Well, no, I just was, I'm wondering what he's building and, you know, the little bit I gleaned when I came into the office about a month ago or so was that you wanted to house antique cars.
Yeah, so the current pole
Hold
barn.
on, before we go any
Oh,
further,
no
can
problem.
you introduce yourself and,
Oh.
Mary Ann Shannon, I live on Royal Drive.
thank you.
You're not, I don't know where he said he's on a corner lot, but you're on Mount Morris.
Correct, at and Royal Drive. I own that whole,
Right, you front to Royal, up to Royal Drive.
that's my side.
Right.
Yep, and Mount Morris.
When you say corner, I thought you meant like you're on.
No, I'm the corner of Mount Morris and Royal.
Right,
I own that 5 acre parcel, yes.
right.
So the one, there's a white house, there's the first one on, across the street from me. That's not you, right? You're the
No.
next one?
You can't see my house from the
Oh.
street.
Okay. Then, wait a minute, if I can't see yours, how can you see mine?
And I drive out.
Because I stood there, been like this, and I can't see any, which is
And I
the
know
side.
you have a very large, what you're called, what was that, 23 by 55 or something?
Yes, the white one, The pole barn?
Big,
Yep.
yeah.
that one you can see from the road.
And then the Quonset hut, I don't know, is that behind on like the, that would be the, where, that's,
So if
which corner
you're
is
driving
that?
down Royal, looking to your right, driving towards your house, you
Yeah,
can see the white one.
Yep,
It's one in the back corner, the corner way
in
over
the
there.
back corner.
Yeah, you won't, like I said, you won't be able to see that one.
Okay.
It's way in the woods.
Okay, so we're talking about a white one. And this
That's the-
drawing that we have, is that the garage?
It's like white and blue, I think it is, I can't remember.
Is that the garage on
Yes.
this drawing, or is that the Quonset house?
That's the pole barn.
That's the pole barn garage, it's a garage.
Okay,
I call it pole barn because
That huge structure, 23
that-
by 55 or something?
that one's 32 by 55,
32 by 55.
normal height.
And what is the illegal amount of square footage you can have on that property?
2,400 square footage of outbuildings.
So what do you have currently?
So do you have a pole barn and a Quonset hut?
Yes.
Right now, the Quonset is nothing, it's just there. It's, the guy that I bought it,
Drawing.
correct, because it's not gonna stay, it's going away. I want the pole barn to go right where the Quonset hut is.
So, okay, can you show me where that's at on the drawing? So, to be clear, right now, we have a home,
Yep.
We have a
Get up here so I don't have to
garage slash pole barn.
Yes, this is the home,
Okay.
here's the main road up here, Mount
Yeah.
Morris. This is the garage, is current,
Okay.
32 by 55. This is the boiler, you know, the out things I'm trying to eventually get rid of. This is a Quonset hut right here right now. I'm getting rid of that and building a pole barn in the spot.
In the same spot.
Yep.
Okay.
So currently, right now, you're out of variance when you bought the home, correct?
Yes,
So he's currently out of variance when he purchased the home. Not to his fault, when he purchased the home, there was a Quonset hut, a garage slash pole building, and a boiler hut.
yep. So I just
Which I
assumed I
believe
could
the
build it.
boiler
'cause
hut
it
would
was
be
already there.
considered an outbuilding as well.
Yes.
So we're tearing down, just for clarity's sake, we're tearing down the boiler hut, we're tearing down the Quonset, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know what that is. And then
Yeah.
we're putting the pole barn in that place. So if your variance was to be approved, in the end, we'd have a home, a garage slash pole barn, and a pole barn.
That is correct.
And how big a pole barn is proposed?
36 by 50.
Wow,
And how big is your Quonset hut?
wow.
Current Quonset hut is, I think, 40 by 35.
Say that again, 40 by
40 by 35.
So
And
how
you're
much
going to what?
overage would that be then on your variance?
About 1,000 square foot,
You're allowed how much on the property?
24.
Well, right now, your pole barn alone is almost, it's 1,900.
The 32 by 55.
Yeah.
So you're going from 40 by 35 to 32 by 55?
The current is 32 by 55. I'm going 36 by 50 is what I'd like to do. The new one's 36 by 50.
This says 55. Is it 55 or is it 50?
The new one should be 50. Unless I made a typo.
I'm just using my calculator for
I got my glasses on, but it sure looks like a 55 there to me.
32.
Oh, that's supposed to be
55.
50. Sorry.
17,
So it's 50 by 32?
36. 50 by 36.
36
Oh.
by 50.
50 by 36.
Right, I've changed the plane 3 times. I originally wanted it 40 by 60 and I kept going down smaller to make it more
So
palatable
that's adding 40 square feet.
from what's
We're
originally.
going from 1760 to 1800, if my math is correct. with my calculator.
Oh, from the old Quonset to the new one.
Yep, so we're adding 40 square feet, but we're subtracting how much?
That other one's 24 by,
So you're gonna end up with 1760.
The boiler shed's 35 by 20.
Yep.
So you're gonna be plus 36 by 50 would be
700, so you're losing a 700 square foot building and you're adding 40 square feet.
and we're gonna end up being 3560
So it'll be 18,
minus.
so it'll be minus 700 plus 40, which will give us a total of, what's the garage right now?
did you hear the gunshots about a month ago over there? The 5 gunshots about 11:30 at night?
Pardon me?
Did you hear the 5 gunshots about 11:30 at night about 4 or 5 weeks ago? There's
No.
like 3 of them popped off and then 2 more popped off
So for
That was my neighbor
clarity's
next
sake,
to
up the
me
board,
in a
I
drunken
needed
stupor.
that map.
I had to call, he came and knocked on my door at 11:30. He's like, "Can you call the
When we
cops?"
add the
Sure,
pole
why not?
barn, that adds 40
Him and his friends were shooting
from
each
the
other.
pole barn structure,
Right.
giving him a total on his,
And that's
your acreage, 5 acres?
It's
4.7.
yeah, 4.7.
On his 4.7 acre lot, he'd be at 3,560,
Which is technically less than I bought it outside.
1160 feet over.
so 1,160 feet over.
So how are you gonna heat that new structure if you can get it?
With gas, with propane.
With propane?
Yep.
Which you heat with right now, right, propane?
Yes.
What does he currently have on his structure, 1980, so he wants 3,560, and he currently has,
So 1760
Yeah, it's less than what I currently have.
plus 700 plus 14.
3,860, so he's losing 300 square feet. So you're losing 300 square feet, we'll have a newer structure. And we're tearing down, I don't know what this little thing looks like, is it in good shape, do you have pictures?
Oh yeah.
Please.
Well,
Like I said, I didn't wanna pull
Oh,
all up
you're
in your
fine.
space.
this is what it looks like from the road. It's the structure right here. This is fence over here.
Okay.
That's
I'm sorry.
not a Quonset, is it?
No, that's the Quonset's in this one. You can see the Quonset back in there.
Oh, okay.
The structure of it's there.
So is it a greenhouse or is it a?
It's a you can call it a greenhouse, Quonset hut. It's
Let me see it. That looks like a greenhouse, and that wouldn't include as a building. That's just a greenhouse. A Quonset hut would be steel lining.
Correct.
So that's just a greenhouse. So
Yeah.
really, all
Quonset
he
is-
has is the garage in this one. That doesn't count as a structure.
What I'm saying was there when I bought the place.
Correct, but it is not a structure if it's a greenhouse, because it's not a permanent fixture. So
this
with
is-
that being said,
This is the interior of that thing.
The what?
this is your wood shed,
Yep,
correct?
yes.
It's 700.
And this is what it looks like.
And this is what, the wood
That's that
shop
wood shed boiler
that
room.
you're tearing
Yep.
down,
Yep.
and that hits your fence.
That is part of the fence, yes. This is from the opposite way, that was fence, was the other side.
Yep.
That's your property line fence?
No.
Okay.
Let me find it again, sorry.
He's quite a ways off the property.
Yeah, I'm 630 foot off the road.
Yeah.
So that's that fence. Oh, that's even better. That's that fence.
Yep, as you pull up into your driveway, I see that fence.
Yep, and that basically.
So we're
hides it.
losing that.
Yep.
We're losing this structure, and
That
we're putting a
structure.
pole barn back there. Do you have a picture of your garage?
I got part of the ones when I bought the house.
That would work for me.
So these two here are 2,460.
There we go.
This is the greenhouse, which isn't considered.
Right.
a fixture.
Okay.
So he's.
There, that's a full bar car.
And that's what you use for your garage,
That's-
because you don't have an attached,
That's this one here.
yep, you don't have an attached garage here.
I have a one car attached garage.
Okay.
But this thing, like right now, that's completely, you can't even walk in the door right now. It's got 4 cars in there, 2 tractors.
So that's the garage on the drawing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you wanna show them the wood shed that you would tear
So
down.
that's the current building.
So this.
That's
rate
one that she
is
said she would see the back of the white
60
one.
square foot.
Which I wanna change the color of that to blend in more.
He's over 60 square
Which
foot.
that is very much.
Right, that is fine.
Back to the food shed.
Did you find one?
Yeah.
You want this one so it matches?
So
I'm
that's
sorry,
the
ma'am,
one.
Oh,
I
I don't
forgot your
care.
name.
Mary Ann Shannon,
That's
Mary
behind
Ann.
the fence.
And what is your
That's
address,
the fence
ma'am?
right there.
So-
3440.
And you've got the dimensions of
I
that?
put it on the paper,
Oh, okay.
3440 Royal
That's
Drive.
that right
appreciate
there.
that.
That's that fence. I wanna leave the fence, cause I like to have some height bid back there.
Yeah.
I'm just taking the structure down.
You said you can see the white and the blue garage
Yes.
from your property.
Oh, yeah.
Do you believe you would be able to see the pole barn from your property? Would it block anything? Would it devalue your property? I think
I
those are
don't think
important
so.
questions for us to ask as a board.
So I can show
My,
you
my
that.
main concern was to ask him, like, was he gonna create a business out of this? Was he gonna, how he's gonna heat
Right,
it? Is
that's
there gonna
very
be any
important.
smells emitting from it? You know, that's my
So your
concern.
wood
living-
stove that you have now,
I'm getting rid of it, I don't use it. I'm not home enough to have something I gotta watch. I travel for a living, I'm gone at weeks at a time. So, I can show you this. I stood in the middle of greenhouse, Quonset, whatever you guys wanna call it, and looked all directions at my neighbors. This is looking towards her road.
Okay.
Can't. Go the other way. This is looking towards my other neighbor.
Mhm.
There's no house you can see there, and then that one's looking at my other neighbor.
so what was the red structure there?
So this is where I'm standing, that's another fence.
Okay.
Because apparently the guy below for me didn't like the guy next door, and he put a privacy fence there.
Just in one little
Just in
section?
one little section. Which I'm getting rid of those two, because I don't like those red fences, them are look gaudy. You probably see the one red fence he put up.
Right
Yeah.
now,
I don't like
he's
it.
60 square feet
Well, I think what he was
over.
trying to
With
do
his new
was,
barn, he's
shield
gonna
his
be
View from
35.
the neighbor
He's
who's the
gonna
first
be
person on the.
Yeah, from your
drive.
neighbor.
60 square foot over.
Yeah, he tends to be loud.
Well, they're running a business out of that place, and,
You're beeping all the time,
it's a
backing up.
mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I will not be running a business. This is for all my antiques and antique cars to store.
35, 60. One thing is.
But you're not taking down, or are you taking down that fencing that kind of shields you
Right.
from
No,
looking at him?
I want it, I might get it painted or put a better
I
one.
thought that's why the previous owner did put it up,
Yeah.
so that he wouldn't see all of the.
So with the two buildings, he's gonna be at 3560, so he's
That'd be
1160 over.
So,
An
I mean,
extra
in
1,000 square feet than what he's already over.
in all actuality with his property and how it is set up in our rules, our ordinance, thank you, my brain was, he couldn't really build anything. He couldn't have any other, 0 outbuildings. Because his garage is already at
He's allowed
the,
the 2,400. He's
Right,
already
right.
over,
right.
which
But I mean,
we
if
can't
he
do
were to,
nothing.
if he were to tear this down,
Well, that's just, oh yeah, this one here,
if he were to tear that down,
he's still gonna be
He-
1,100.
right, he would only really be able to put a tiny little shed because his garage is 1760. And we're at 2,400.
Yeah, and the reason big time is,
So,
I don't wanna look
to
like the
build
neighbor. I don't want all my
something,
stuff out in the
you'd be able
yard.
to build like 700.
Well, not if you have antique cars.
Yep.
or
Well, my
cars.
tractors too, I wanna keep the tractors all put away, so none of that's seen,
Yeah.
cause I
Right.
hate clutter on the outside,
Yeah, the neighbors on the street are real,
yeah.
yeah.
So the pole barn that's going up is going a dark blue and black,
Well,
which matches the house with the wood.
with 5 acres, so you're saying he's like 1,100 square feet over, how did the previous owner get all of that put on, probably without any
So-
ordinances?
So back then, them buildings looked pretty old, so it was built before there was probably an ordinance, or they didn't do a permit.
Yep.
But you're grandfathered in with what he's got now, but to go bigger, now he's gotta abide by the current ordinance.
And that ordinance goes according to how many acres you have?
Correct. Up to 5 acres, he's allowed 2,400 square feet, which he has 2,460 now, not counting the greenhouse.
Yeah, if I take that one down, it's a lot less. So I have a question on that.
Sure.
So right now I'm at like 4.7. What was I, so if I was over 5, we wouldn't be having this meeting, would we?
What is the-
I mean, I'm short,
No,
quarter of an acre.
You would. Do you have that?
which is like 100 foot.
I think there's one on my desk.
Sometimes they
I
use
can
that
tell
on
you real
purpose,
quick.
because then your taxes might be lower.
Not that it matters, I was just.
No, it's an interesting question though,
She-
that I
she
think
has
we
it.
should
It's
consider.
5.01, and I think it's 3,000 square feet is what it goes
Yeah,
up.
which is funny, when I bought the house, they listed it as 4.9 acres, so I'm a little upset about that, so I'm gonna talk to them.
Hey, I know that realtor, because I just had that same conversation with him.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Paul? No, I shouldn't say
Do you have anything outside the buildings right now?
I try not to, I cannot stand clutter.
Okay, so by building this building, you will not have clutter.
That's what I want, yes.
You will eliminate, everything, all your personal possessions.
Tractors, everything go
Will
inside.
be inside.
Yep.
So it won't be.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you had over 5 acres, you would, 5 to 10 acres is 3,000 square feet, so you would still be over
A little bit, yep.
560 square feet.
Does the board have any more questions for Rudy or the neighbor that is here?
And if you ever have a problem with anything, come tell me, I'll take it, I'll fix it. I want them all to look the same and clean.
You gotta go through the questions, and I guess we can address at the questions what the concerns would be.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure
Sure.
we seen the
I don't have
pictures, we
any
did
more.
the math, no questions from our board anymore. So to grant a variance, we have to go through steps to
Understand.
determine if a variance should be granted or not. That's how the Michigan law is set up.
Oh yeah, I know it too well.
So the first standard is that there are practical difficulties which prevent carrying out the strict letter of the ordinance. These difficulties shall not be deemed economic, but shall be evaluated in terms of the use of the particular parcel of land. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I would say there's not, because there's no difficulties. He's over on his, already on his current
Right,
thing, like he said, he should have, before he bought it, our ordinance has been in effect since 2013 or older, so there's really no difficulties. You got anything, Steve?
No, usually difficulty is topography or.
yeah,
Correct.
usually
Access or
pond
something
or,
like that.
yeah,
Right.
I would agree with you.
I don't think that's the case, no.
Right. So we don't think that there's any practical difficulties. With that said, this is again a standard too, that practical difficulty exists because of a unique circumstance or physical condition such as narrowness, shallowness, shape, or topography of the property involved, or to the intended use of the property that does not generally apply to other property or uses in the same zoning district. Again, I don't think we can find any practical difficulties with carrying it out. That a hardship or special condition or circumstance did not result from actions of the applicant. So he's I I would just beg to differ that he's already currently over, which is something out of his control, but he's asking to be more over.
Correct. So there's
So,
no hardship.
There's not really a hardship.
Correct.
That the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the ordinance and will not cause a substantial adverse effect upon surrounding property values, and the use and enjoyment of the property in the neighborhood or district. If a lesser variance would give substantial relief and be more consistent with justice to others, it shall be so decided. So I mean, I personally, when I pulled into his driveway, would have to agree with that. It was very far back from the road. I don't feel like it would be obtrusive. From my view,
That was my intention.
it was what you
That's
felt
what I
like
saw.
too. I felt like it would increase the value of
That's-
his property. I don't think it would harm the value. I don't think it would.
No,
But
the
would that
difficulty comes when someone in the neighborhood wants to do the same
The same
thing,
Correct.
and then that will create a
Correct.
difficulty for another neighbor.
And that's,
That's the problem that
Yep.
we face.
I would agree with you.
But it will raise the property value, which raises everyone's property value around us too.
that, yes, but we still have to, there's no difficulty there, it's your preference to go to a bigger barn, we have to protect the whole neighborhood in and above.
Correct, and if I don't wanna say if or what, cause that's down the road. Eventually I gotta use the barn I have, and so other thing in that barn's gonna come out in the yard. I gotta be able to use that barn.
Right, and I understand that,
So now I'm gonna have clutter everywhere.
which is,
Yeah. But that's your choice.
Yeah.
I have to, I mean, I gotta be able to use
We
what I
got
have.
our ordinances, and then we have to enforce them with the state's clarification, so did you get a answer on that one?
so
for
I mean,
me?
I think we're a little divided as the board goes. I personally, I understand what you're saying, Steve, because if we grant one variance, we have to grant all the variances, and from the attorneys,
Well, we
the
don't
attorneys.
have to, we don't have
no,
to,
I'm
but
just
it
saying,
opens
it
the door.
opens the
How
door.
do you say no to
And
the next
Correct,
guy?
that is wrong, and the attorney has told us we need to find all these standards, and I would agree
He's already over.
that he is already over. But I'm saying my personal answer to number 4 is that I do not think it would cause an adverse effect to the neighborhood just strictly by building it. I don't think it would be like, if we're granting a variance that it's right on a property line, I think that can cause non-harmony to the neighborhood. This
So-
for me just
Yeah,
doesn't,
so-
that's just my personal.
So thinking outside the box, all the other neighbors know what can be there.
Mhm,
They bought their property
mhm,
knowing that there's not gonna be a whole bunch of barns there.
mhm.
Now, if we grant the variance, we're going against all the neighbors thinking that they weren't gonna have, somebody with extra barns or,
Additionally though, that one barn's been there forever. It's just not a permanent one, that Quonset.
yeah, that's just a greenhouse, it's not a Quonset.
Whatever it
Yeah,
is there,
no,
I'm
and
saying.
that's fine. Had it been a regular Quonset a building, we
I'm not
would be in a
arguing that.
different,
And I guess
Honestly,
just,
you're absolutely right, that's.
that is just
that's
a
a
greenhouse
key
structure,
feature
which
here.
is not a,
If that was a true
I
building,
understand.
you're not getting taxed on
there's
it.
a different story completely.
Yeah, because then you would have been at that square footage already, then you would have been grandfathered in. If you're improving the building, I think that is doable.
Yeah.
But to go to a bigger building,
so I guess I'm gonna play devil's
What-
advocate here. He has the greenhouse there, so now he puts a tarp on the greenhouse to put his stuff in.
Yeah.
As a neighbor, I would rather have a nice new pole barn next to me than a trashy looking greenhouse with a
And that's all I
tarp
was
on
getting
it.
at, it's just,
That's just
they're used to looking at something with a
my-
white top on it right
That's
there.
my personal preference as a neighbor, if I'm gonna look out, which, when I drove up to his house today, I didn't feel like as a neighbor I could see his backyard,
You know,
but,
to his,
but I do have a neighbor
Well,
here saying that's not correct, so.
but.
well, and
let's
to her
argue-
point, when he sets it, if he sets up this property with all of this extra square footage, that opens up when he leaves. Maybe someone comes in and begins,
Does
who knows,
Services.
car
Yep.
repair, well, whatever, right? And then they come in under the radar, and now we've created strife for the neighbors.
that.
And we've
that's
created the
fair.
strife.
So,
by
and one
approving
other
it.
thing,
Mhm.
he showed us, none of the neighbors can see that greenhouse. So with what you're saying, it's gonna look ugly, he's the only one who's gonna see it, but it's still gonna protect whatever he puts in it. Steve got a good point, we gotta look at what's that building gonna get used for down the road.
Yes, not only today, not only with you, but for future owners.
Yeah, I'm not,
Well,
I've been living in this house for 20 years, so I'm not worried about that.
But
No,
we'll all be
fine,
gone by then.
somebody else's, yeah, that's
But
just
if you
where.
go to another part of the township, maybe down the road a mile, and somebody wants a variance to build, add another 2,400, 2,500 square feet. Well, you let this guy do it, just because you can't see it doesn't mean he didn't do it.
But case by case basis.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yep,
and that's why we have to go through the state's questions and.
Mhm.
When you look at the potential that he may take a tarp and put it over top of this greenhouse,
Which I won't, because I have to have storage.
that,
Sure.
that creates, in my mind, and I agree with Amy, that creates more of an eyesore.
But by his pictures only to him.
He may do it correctly, it might look beautiful. I've seen
You
nice,
can,
beautiful
you can
greenhouses.
buy the nice white heavy tarps now for them. I'm just looking down the road like Steve, we gotta protect. what's gonna happen
The issue
even
isn't an individual issue, the issue is gonna go with your property forever. And that's why we have a board
I
like this.
totally understand.
And I
That's
sit in a
something
hard
you're-
spot.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
I do too, and I sit in a hard spot on this board personally, because I want you, I probably shouldn't say this publicly, I want you to do whatever you want with your property that's in harmony with what you, because you own it and you pay taxes on it and it's yours, and that's how I feel about my property. And sometimes the red tape, I feel like, I don't want to discourage people from living in our township. I want people to live in our township, but I also don't want our township to look clunky and ugly. And in my mind, I'm thinking greenhouse, clunky, not taxable, not adding value. I'm thinking pole barn, pretty, taxes to our township adds value. I also understand your guys' point of if we open the door, we're opening a door, and it does seem a little self-made, which is what we're instructed we can't
Yes.
give a variance on. So I'm
It is.
struggling with this
It-
one,
it
if I'm
is,
gonna be
yes.
completely honest,
Yes.
in an open
No.
forum, I'm really struggling with it.
We're not
because
here to.
We
I
love to,
don't-
we
I
love to,
don't-
but the problem is
I
we're,
don't like
we're going
that.
against what's written down.
We're going, yeah, and.
Well, that's what a variance is.
No, absolutely.
Correct, but we've been instructed by our attorney to grant a variance, we have to go through all these
Totally
steps. So like, for example, we have,
So
I will
if there
say
was-
openly, as, because you can FOIA any of this and look at it, we have granted a variance for more outbuilding.
I know.
They had a pond and a septic, and they needed a variance to get it closer, and they also lived across the street from a water park where kids are at constantly.
I don't
So-
pay attention to anybody else's stuff. I only care
No,
about
I'm
getting my
just saying,
stuff done.
but I'm just telling you, so we went through the steps and we're like, okay, it's not self-made, they didn't put the water park there. They didn't put the pond there, like, there's all these things that we had to go through as a board, and I'm personally struggling with this one because I pull into your driveway and I go, that's not really hurting anybody, but I have to understand and agree with what Steve is saying. If we do this, or God forbid, something, you get hit by a bus tomorrow and somebody moves in and now they're painting cars in there, and now another taxpayer in our township is upset because we did this, and now we're in court, and now the taxable value of your pole barn doesn't really matter because we're paying attorney fees.
No, and I mean,
So
they're all good points.
You know,
I'm
they really
really,
are.
I'm
You couldn't
personally
run a
really,
body shop out of that thing.
I'm
Legally by
just
you
saying,
guys.
I'm just really struggling.
You can shut them down in a
so
heartbeat.
I don't, this is
If-
when I don't like
But
being
if
on
they're
this
doing it
board.
on their own
No.
cars, you can't stop
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You know, one of the things that I think maybe the realtor industry needs to get better is when people look at a property and they have an idea for their dream, right? but it doesn't fit with the zoning of the property, that's on the buyer to make sure that they're buying the correct
And
property.
our ordinance is online, so it's.
So I understand there was a
it's
structure there
public.
already, so.
Yeah.
Right, and that was your, and
Yeah.
I understand that, and as a homeowner, I also understand it can be very frustrating. You buy this, you think, we just had one.
And that
come in,
structure
not
is
too long
insured.
ago, they had this beautiful build drawn up, and it didn't meet our pitch for our roof. And I loved the build, I loved everything about it, but it didn't meet our pitch, and if we let that go, then we gotta let the next one
That was
go.
on a lake
And
and
that
all
was
the other houses.
beautiful. And I
Totally different
really
circumstance.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just
We
giving
gotta
you my
cover all of our
personal,
bases.
my personal internal struggle.
No,
You got
absolutely.
internal, you got short term and the long term.
Right,
And
We
that's,
have both.
that's really what it boils down to.
so if we want, so we agree to disagree on number 4, that some of us think that it will be in harmony with the neighborhood and some of us think it won't. So I think we're,
And with-
how do you feel,
Yeah,
Mayor?
and without it there would definitely be a harmful thing, because
I'd like to see it built, but I understand that if we do this, then we're opening the door to the township for 20 other people saying, well, I wanna do this, and you let him do it.
Yeah, we
Even
might as
though
well
it's
change
covered
the,
up.
And
Right.
if we don't have our backing with all these
right.
questions,
We can, if we were to deny it, is there another option? If you were to tear down your little shed, is there something you could do to maybe add on to the garage to give
Not
you
enough
that
to-
space? No.
because you're only talking at that point another 400 square foot. I think any
well,
other
it's
car.
already over, and so I
Right,
mean,
but if he
anything-
tore this
It's
down,
already over.
if he tore
When he
this
tore
down,
it
he'd
up,
only-
he could only build
Yeah.
the same thing, and he's still
Oh,
over,
yeah,
so he
okay,
wouldn't
I'm
be able
sorry.
to go any more
You're
without
right,
a variance.
that was dumb.
Cause really, if he tears it down, then he can only be
so
740.
let me ask you, if you would build an attached garage, that would not count against his accessory building, because it's
You could
attached.
add a garage onto your house.
That's the whole septic system's there, and the pool's there, and all that stuff.
Okay, so now we've created a practical difficulty.
Yeah. I cannot build onto the house.
But
I know the house.
But,
Have
but we
you
still
seen
So,
it from the back?
I would disagree, but
yeah.
there's a lot of room around the house.
And-
But
and
I'm
we
just trying to
still-
find a solution.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
know.
just trying to
I'm
find a
actually,
solution.
when you said that, I go, I couldn't go behind it, because that's too close to the variance. I do variance from the neighbor the other way.
Right, like you'd be
Yeah,
close to
and
the lot
anywhere
line.
else, this is just saying out loud, anywhere
I
else,
think we
my
gotta
neighbors could see it.
stay with what we've got on the drawing.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And we still have the difficulties, there's no,
I would say we don't have any difficulties.
no, correct, we don't have any difficulty.
Right.
We have the difficulties of
Of
no
not-
difficulties,
No
yes.
difficulties, okay. So the next standard is 5, that strict compliance with the provision as written would unreasonably prevent the owner from using the property for a permitted purpose or would render conformity unnecessarily burdensome.
I wouldn't,
I
he could
wouldn't-
still live there and he still
Yeah.
has the other barns, it's not. I mean, yeah, he wants the bigger barn, it would be nicer, but it's not.
Necessary.
Essential.
It kind of is necessary, technically for my neighbors, because like I said, I gotta use that barn I have, so all that stuff's gonna come out in the yard.
There again, you said the neighbors can't see anything there, so
In
you're
the back
gonna be the
corner.
ones looking at it.
In the back corner, they can't see anything.
So I guess we answered the question, we just gotta continue on and.
But the variance requested is the minimum amount necessary to mitigate the hardship.
There's no hardship.
Yeah, so that's kind of a moot point. So. Granting a variance if we choose it. So with all those findings, do you guys have any more discussion, questions? Do we wanna make a motion? What is the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion if there's no more questions.
Marilyn, you have any questions?
No, I'm in between a rock and a hard place too, because what is the garage being used for right now?
Storage.
When you say storage,
So if you took the garage down, and you're adding this bigger pole barn, how would that offset?
The storage right now is, everything is in there, I can't even use it. It's not in
What's,
use.
when you say storage, what is it?
The garage pole barn, we were calling the current one,
Yeah,
is completely packed full to the gills, like I can't get nothing
of
else in
what
there.
though?
Cars, antiques,
This-
tools, tractors, everything
Okay.
that can possibly go in there.
So, you want the new pole barn because you want more cars, or what? That's
No,
what I'm trying to figure
I
out.
got plenty of those, I don't want any more. I don't want to have storage, so I had to pay for storage units at my old house, storage unit here, storage unit here, storage unit here, so I was paying $1,000 a month to store these. I don't want to do that no more.
To store your cars.
Yes, and I want to enjoy them.
Mhm.
So now they're all in there because I don't want them in the weather.
Yep,
All the tractors are in there, everything's possible in there. I don't have enough room, like I said, I put my Kubota in, so that part's over in that other structure right now. It's unusable for a garage. I can't work on my own cars or anything to fix an oil change or anything, because I can't get them in the garage. So I gotta get something else, I can get stuff out of there, so it's a usable structure for my tractors, lawnmowers, working on my cars, changing tires.
And there wouldn't be space in the new pole barn that you?
That's what I wanted for, is a new pole barn, is to do that space. All the antiques, all the cars, all the gas station memorabilia I collect and stuff, all gets put in there like a showroom. It becomes like a antique.
So you could tear down the garage then?
I think we're talking the wrong.
Yeah, he wouldn't have,
No.
he wants the whole
He wants two.
3,500
Yeah, I
square
know.
foot.
but she's trying to think outside the box. She's
Correct,
thinking
yeah.
if you tore your garage down, that is 1760.
Yeah.
But I don't
That's
think
what-
that's
That
gonna
doesn't
solve.
give him enough square footage to make a difference.
He's still only allowed the 2,400 and he's
Yeah.
wanting the 3,500.
Right, could you tear your garage down and build a 2,400 square foot pole barn?
I already have more than that.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
it.
so, and that's his problem.
Right, but I'm saying, but if he tore both of these structures down.
But he needs it, that's what he's saying, he don't wanna tear this one down, he wants these two for a total of 3,500.
I understand that's what he's saying,
He
but if
could.
we are to deny the variance,
So you're saying to add,
to get rid of the garage, get rid of the boiler shed and make your pole barn giant, and we split the pole barn in half, and part of it is your memorabilia and part of it is your storage.
It could
But he's
still
still
only be
only allowed
2,400 square feet.
2,400
Yeah.
square feet.
Right,
Which I'm
but
less than
right
what I
now,
have
he's
now.
only at 1760.
No, I just have the other one.
Yeah, he still has it, so he has 2,460.
The boiler shed?
That was
It's
that
still
one.
I thought that
2460.
wasn't used.
It's still a shed, it's still an outbuilding.
it's still there.
It's
We're
outbuilding.
tearing that down too, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's still only, if he tears
If
them
he
two
tore
down,
everything down, he
then
can
he-
build 2,400 square feet.
I already have that.
he has that much now. And he wants the variance
Okay.
to
He
be
wants to add
more.
1160 to what he has right now.
My impression was that you didn't use the wood shed.
No, I'm
He's
using it
gonna
right now
tear
for
that
everything,
down.
stuck on stuff, it's still in
Okay,
there.
I
Kubota
misunderstood.
tractor, all the attachments, two
I
lawn tractors.
misunderstood that, then, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, it's, right now it's filled with tractors. We're taking care of the property.
Do we have any more questions?
I don't have any questions.
It'll look really cool when it's done, it'll look like a showroom and antique place for cars and gas station over there.
Do you have any more questions, ma'am?
Well,
Or
with
statements
all
you'd
this
like
talk
to
of
make?
making it into a showroom, are you gonna be having people coming over to
No.
see it?
No, well, just my friends,
Cause I'm hearing showroom several times from you.
because I like to look at it. No, it's not gonna be a charge thing for people to come in, it's just me and my buddies hanging out.
Yeah, that's what worries me, because as you say, you know, I'm on Royal Drive and my neighbor next to me is a mess. He's got running a business over there, and nobody has ever stopped him. And that's what I'm afraid is happening all over without anybody coming forward and speaking up.
Yeah, I'm not starting any kind of business, he does have a major business going on there.
Yes, he does. That's why I showed up. I know all of us on Royal Drive got the same letter, and I wanted to come and just see, you know, how business is run here.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
for coming. We like to hear from the neighbors.
Very important.
I'll be coming back to ask all these questions of my neighbor. Maybe somebody can get out there and,
So you'll wanna come to the regular board meeting and ask those questions.
Or just come to the office and we can make a complaint if there's something there. If we don't know about it, we can't control it. So-
well, he already has retaliated against me, and I don't wanna take up any of
Oh, no, you're fine, you can say anything you want to me, I'm
Rudy's
not.
time.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm in construction, I'm used to these meetings all the
We
time.
don't
I
talk.
built skyscrapers, I built the Red Wing Stadium, Ford Field.
Yeah, I'll come up and talk to you.
Alright, sounds good.
I'll back you on that one.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Well, with that being said, I make a motion with all of our findings here, there's no hardship, there's no difficulties. I make a motion to deny the request.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Does anybody second that motion?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call
Leclerc,
Or
Sears, sorry about that, Stearns,
vote. No.
Rapson,
Support.
Clemens.
Motion passes. So we are denying the variance requested from Mr. DeGrandchamp.
that hurts.
So what can I do from here? Should I go get a lawyer?
You're more than welcome to. That is.
Buy 5 more acres.
That is your.
And then then you'd be allowed up to 3,000.
Well, it's gonna be an eyesore because I've gotta use that pole barn, so now you're gonna see a bunch of stuff.
And that is your choice.
I have to.
And
I was trying to do it where everything be nice and calm and nice and collected. The proper way, where
I
nobody can see it.
I understand, and I also understand that, I understand your feelings.
Yeah.
It's a difficult
I don't
thing.
like doing that, but I just see
We have to take
Another
care of all
5 or
the
6.
residents in the township. I mean, it's.
5 or 6 other people going, oh, well, now we can do that.
So with that said, I will entertain the last motion. Motion to,
Business from the floor?
Second public comment.
we don't have a second public comment on the agenda. We
Okay,
can
so-
add one if we'd like. I do need to close the public hearing though.
Okay, yep, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna close the public hearing. We do have business from the floor, so would anybody like to speak from the floor?
About what?
Whatever you'd like.
You don't wanna hear about Abraham. I appreciate your guys' time.
See you good night.
Now I will entertain another motion.
That's a second.
We are adjourned at 6:50. Do you want this, Corinne, even though?
You know,
it's
that's-
not
That was hard.
Yes.
Yeah,
In the next time.
you're creating a bigger problem.
Sometimes it's easier to
You know,
read them.
So
But-
many people, when they
but
need
based
that
on-
and they see it, right, they need to buy what they need.
But
A
based
lot of
on-
times you don't know, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, but like a lot of times you
Yeah.
don't know because it is different from township to township. And I do understand, and it's hard, and especially like, I don't know how old he is, I don't know how many homes he's owned, you don't even think about that when you're buying your home, you
I
know?
saw-
There's-
I
You do, no, I do, I always have.
And that's
I
great,
always check the
I would
zoning
not
and
say
before
that
you're a car, you
I
can check
understand, I'm
and
just
you know.
saying, I don't think the average person does.
If I'm gonna move cattle, I'm not gonna buy a Chevette, you know what I mean? I'm gonna buy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm not gonna buy an F-150 when I need a F-450.
I saw the same thing that Amy saw,
I understand, yeah.
but,
Oh, I did too, but you
but,
notice,
but when
He's a
you look
builder,
at
so
the
he
future,
knows the game.
there's a 5-acre parcel that's not used behind him. The next thing we have is that gets
Yeah.
sold,
yeah,
and we
Yeah,
got
yeah,
someone
yeah.
going, how in the hell could you guys let this guy build this monstrosity
you
in the
have,
front yard?
you have to,
Right.
go to the
That's
future.
not
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand, I don't, and it's okay, I don't have to necessarily agree, we all can, yeah,
Everybody has
it's
their
okay,
opinion.
y'all,
You
it's
know,
okay.
you-
Well, no, I was,
Oh, no, no.
I don't
I'm
want
just
to,
saying
I
I
have lots, I know that,
How I
I've played
feel,
lots
that's
of
how I
house,
feel.
fresh,
I don't think I've ever
plenty of
disagreed,
room, there's
but
plenty of
that
knock
was
out
the
back
first
5
time.
acres. Seven guys said it's gonna be nice.
You too.
Okay.
So Bill, I said hi.
Yeah, well.
Unfortunately,